But the beaver was actually quite shy and avoided us. Is also nocturnal. So there are very short windows where it was possible to get footage of the beaver.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Ultrasonic Film. As always, I'm your host, James, talking about movies, and more movies. We have two very special guests on the show right now, Nova and Velcro, who are going to be talking about their new film, Incandescence. It is an absolutely breathtaking, in many different ways, film about Canadian wildfires. So definitely one to check on out. Guys, I want to welcome you to Ultrasonic Film.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to be here.
This is quite a powerful film with some incredible imagery on Canadian wildfires, which is more relevant now than ever right across Canada. I'm really glad that you guys are getting this project out there. It's an important project for everyone to see. I'm sure you guys would agree with me on that.
Absolutely. That's why we made the film. It's something that is impacting us all. We worked on this film for several years. It seems more and more relevant as the years go by.
It's really inspiring to see all of the firefighters and to really get into their lives because I think when people think about firefighters going out there, they think, oh, they're just doing their job, they'll take care of it, it'll be fine. And the real struggles, and you get to watch the teams in your film working together. It's very inspiring, and it was a real eye-opener for myself as well. From the film perspective, I was particularly pleased to see that you included many sequences from the point of view of the wildlife and seeing how they interacted in their environment. And I like that angle of the film because it's not just fire devastation, property, and human beings. You also get to see the animals. Was that something that was a concept right from the beginning, or was that something that you kind of did as you went along?
It was something that we came up with right from the beginning because often when you hear about wildfires and their impact, it's very human centric. And we wanted to look at the big picture, at all the different aspects of it. Wildlife are impacted. And so we thought we would try and incorporate their stories as well as best we could.
And one of the stars of the film actually is a pig, very large pig named Pumbaa, who refused to leave. And it was very hard to make a large, obstinate pig do what you wanted to do sometimes. And they were left behind, and a helicopter pilot flying overhead from BC Wildfire spotted the pig and airdropped him granola bars. And then throughout the fire, they were able to keep that pig sustained and alive and safe. And then afterwards, she was rescued.
Certainly, the pig is very, very memorable in the film, as is the footage with the beaver and the bee. I was curious as to how you guys got that footage, how you were able to actually place it in the film. It really catches your eye.
Yes, well, we worked with a wildlife cinematographer, Maxwell Hahn, who lives on Vancouver Island, and he spent some time at a lake in the Okanagan region where we knew there was a beaver living there. But the beaver was actually quite shy and avoided us. Is also nocturnal. So there are very short windows where it was possible to get footage of the beaver, which would be at sunrise and sunset at dusk. And so that was one of the ways that we were able to see the beaver's activities. And then with the bees, well, one of our subjects, Dora Alexis, kept bees at her place. And so we had a lot of access to bees there. And just because we were there during the springtime, they were everywhere, and we used special lenses on the cameras to be able to see them up close. Probe lens, more specifically. Our cinematographer, Vince Arvidsson, did an amazing job of capturing their activity.
And to get into the perspective of these creatures, the insects or the beavers, we did what we call point of view shots. And so we didn't actually attach a GoPro to the back of a beaver and let it swim around. The cinematographer got into the water with his camera and imagined that he was a beaver and would swim underwater and then come out and walk along the beaver trail. So we created that. And along with the sound, created that getting right inside their perspectives.
I would describe the film as both beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes, yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes our editor would say, sometimes I feel like I'm editing a horror film. There is elements of that. So, and it does, the thing about the film is it's an immersive film. It takes you on a journey.
I was very, very pleased with the message of hope and the fact that while we've lost 100 homes, we've saved thousands of homes, and that information and training is being passed from generation to generation and that the firefighters are learning to adapt their training based on what they actually see. There's a nice message of hope in there. It informs very well on the tragedy, I think.
Yeah, and there is possibility, and there is a lot that we can be doing before fire season to prepare to protect our communities and to protect the land. We need to be looking at prescribed burns and fuel modifications where we reduce the fuel surrounding our communities to keep them safer. And even every individual can be looking at their own homes and what can you do to fire smart your home, to have a defensible space around your home so that it's less likely to burn in the event of a wildfire, of which we're going to be seeing more and more as the years go on.
I want to thank you very, very much for joining us here on Ultrasonic Film and talking about Incandescence. I definitely believe this is a film that people should check on out, and I really appreciate you joining me here.
Yeah,
It's great
great.
to be here.
And you can watch it now streaming at the NFB website, nfb.ca.
People can watch it for free at any time on the NFB website. The film is Incandescence, and that it is an absolutely breathtaking, in many different ways, film about Canadian wildfires. So definitely one to check on out. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
Thank
James.
you.